Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something pretty big, a development that feels like it's connecting two different worlds, traditional banking and the cutting edge of decentralized finance.
Yeah, it's a fascinating space right now.
We're talking about ISO 2022.
Yeah.
Now, that might sound technical, but people are calling it the new universal language for money moving around the globe.
Exactly. It's a standard, but its impact is potentially huge.
So our mission today, let's unpack what this ISO 2022 thing actually is, why it's suddenly so important for how money works, and specifically look at this announcement from a company called Metallicus. They've apparently just gone live with this standard on their blockchains, Metal, Blockchain and XPR Network, as of today, August 8th, 2025.
A very specific date.
Right. We're looking at their announcement. Metallicus leads the way. ISO 2022 now live. Written by Bruce Stewart. So we'll dig into what they're saying and what it might mean.
Sounds good. It really does feel like a significant moment because, this standard, ISO 2022, it's all about breaking down these communication walls between different financial players.
Okay, so let's start there. For anyone maybe not deep in the weeds on this, what exactly is ISO 2022? Why is it this new global language?
Right. So at its core, it's an international standard. Think of it like a set of rules for how financial messages like payment instructions or settlement details should be structured.
Okay, like a formatting guide.
Sort of, but much richer. It's about ensuring everyone's communicating using the same detailed, structured format, a common vocabulary and grammar for financial data, if you like.
And why is that so important now?
Well, the key thing is interoperability. It's designed to let traditional finance, banks, the big institutions, what we call TradFi, talk seamlessly with decentralized finance, or DeFi, the blockchain world. It bridges that gap.
Breaking down silos, you mentioned.
Exactly. And that brings us to that statement you mentioned from Marshall Hayner, the Metallicus CEO from today.
Yeah, he said, let me find it. ISO 2022 is an international standard for payments and settlement between banks, institutions, and blockchains. This is a core component of the technology that will merge TradFi with DeFi.
That's the core idea.
But then he adds, quote, at Metal Blockchain and at XPR Network are the only two blockchains in the world that have it live. Now that part sounds like a major claim, only two in the world.
It is a very bold claim and pretty significant if true. You see, lots of blockchain projects have ISO 2022 on their roadmap. They talk about future compliance.
Right, it's always coming soon.
Exactly. But for Metallicus to say it's live right now, today, that suggests they've actually built and deployed it. They've moved from, planning to actual execution.
Which in this space could be a pretty big head start, couldn't it? Especially for attracting banks or institutions.
Potentially, yes. It signals they're ready for business in a way others might not be yet. It's about being compliant now.
Okay, so it's clearly meant to be transformative. Where will we see the biggest impacts? What does this standard actually do?
Well, there are a few really key areas. First off, global compatibility. This isn't some obscure standard. It's being adopted by the big players. Think SWIFT, think central banks around the world.
So it's plugging into the existing system.
Precisely. It means blockchains using this standard can, in theory, connect directly into the world's established financial plumbing. It's not just blockchain talking to blockchain, it's blockchain talking to the global financial system.
Okay, that's big. And you mentioned data earlier, data-rich transactions. What's that mean practically?
Right. So current payment messages, like through SWIFT, often have limited space for data. ISO 2022 allows for much more structured information to travel with the payment.
Like what kind of information?
Think about things like detailed invoice information, the purpose of the payment, originator details, compliance checks, like built-in flags for AML or KYC screening.
Anti-money laundering, know your customer.
Exactly. So you're not just sending money, you're sending money with its full context and potentially its compliance credentials embedded right in.
Wow. That sounds like it could massively reduce errors, improve compliance checks.
And improve analytics, too. Imagine the insights you could get from that richer data flow. It could also help fight fraud. It's about making the payment itself much more intelligent.
Which leads nicely into the idea of regulatory readiness, doesn't it? It sounds like it helps future-proof these systems.
That's definitely a big part of it. By using a global standard that regulators are increasingly looking at or even mandating in some areas, you're building systems that are kind of inherently prepared for evolving rules.
So it keeps the blockchain side compliant with global norms.
That's the goal. It helps answer that tricky question. How do you let this innovative, decentralized tech interact safely and, compliantly with the established financial world? ISO 2022 is a major piece of that puzzle, creates more trust.
And this brings us back to bridging TradFi and DeFi. You said this is maybe the aha moment. Explain that a bit more.
This is where it gets really exciting, I think, because
All
it
right.
potentially allows banks, credit unions, fintechs to connect directly to these compliant blockchain networks.
Skipping intermediaries.
Potentially, yes. Think about cross-border payments today. Often slow, expensive, lots of steps, lots of different parties taking a cut and adding delays.
Yeah, anyone who's sent money overseas knows that pain.
Right. With this standard enabling direct compliant communication between, say, a bank and a decentralized application or network, well, you could see significant savings in both time and cost. It streamlines everything.
Okay, so back to Metallicus. You said lots of projects talk about this. What makes their announcement today, claiming to be first to deliver, so distinct?
It's the difference between a plan and, well, reality. The white paper promise versus something that's actually switched on and working.
So they're saying the integration work is done, the testing's complete, the infrastructure is live.
That's what live implies, yes, that the technical heavy lifting to implement the standard across their networks, Metal Blockchain and XPR Network, is finished. And according to them, they are the only ones at this point today.
Which, if accurate, turns the concept into something tangible that institutions can actually use now.
Exactly. It means theoretically, as of today, August 8th, 2025, a bank or a payment processor could start exchanging these ISO 2022 messages directly with those two networks.
And they've even provided specific gateways, right? Addresses for developers or institutions to look at.
Yeah, they listed ISO 2022.metalblockchain.org and ISO 2022.xponetwork.org. Putting those out there certainly suggests it's more than just talk. It's actual infrastructure that's ready, or at least that they want people to start integrating with.
So this integration, it feels like Metallicus sees it as a really foundational step towards, I guess, merging global finance.
It seems that way, and their approach looks quite strategic. They didn't just add it as a feature, they've apparently embedded it deep down.
How so?
Well, they mentioned putting it into their layer 0 infrastructure, that's Metal Blockchain. Think of layer 0 as the absolute base layer, the foundation of the whole system. So the core network itself speaks ISO 2022 natively.
Okay, built in from the ground up.
Right, and then they've also integrated it into the smart contracts on XPR Network, which is more the application or consumer-facing layer.
So hitting it from both the foundational level and the application level.
Exactly. It's like they're building the bridge from both ends, connecting that institutional, compliant money flow directly to the world of decentralized apps, or DApps.
It really paints a picture of that vision Marshall Hayner talked about, bringing the best of both worlds together.
Yeah, the security and compliance of TradFi, combined with the speed, transparency, maybe lower costs of DeFi.
Makes sense.
And Metallicus itself, they're a US-based company focused specifically on this intersection-regulated, high-performance blockchain for banking and payments, so this move fits perfectly with their whole mission.
So the call to action is basically out there now for banks, fintechs, developers.
Yeah.
If you want to work with ISO 2022 on a blockchain, they're saying, come check out our gateways.
That seems to be the message. Start building the next generation of financial products here on our live compliant networks.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what we've really unpacked today isn't just some technical update. It feels more like a fundamental shift, doesn't it?
I think so. It's the real-world activation of this global financial language, a language designed to connect systems that, until now, have largely existed in separate universes.
Yeah, it really paints this picture of a future where your traditional bank and some cutting-edge DeFi app are actually speaking the same language, directly, compliantly.
Mm-hmm.
So only the final thought for you listening. As you reflect on this, think about your own experience. What could this kind of interoperability actually mean? Could it make your everyday transactions faster, cheaper, especially international ones?
Yeah, and maybe even broader. How could this single standard really reshape what we even think of as global financial services over the next few years? It opens up a lot of possibilities.